Hall, open three. Oh, what a sight for Lexie Hall. She has needed that one to draw.
No Caitlin Clark. No healthy point guards. The scouting report said Indiana should stumble. Instead, the Fever walked into a must-have game and turned chaos into control, leaving Chicago wondering how a team with so many holes could look this complete. The moment that first three splashed, you could almost feel the season tilt.
We're back home, baby. Let's go! Back in the W column. Well, I got your challenge. That's a big dub, baby. Point guard.
Big dub.
Everything leading into the game screamed collapse. A tough West Coast swing had ended with back-to-back gut checks, and then the injuries started stacking like bad headlines. First the franchise centerpiece sidelined, then 2 floor generals gone in one night. Most teams crack when their plan A, B, and C disappear. Indiana didn't. They tightened the rotation, simplified the playbook, and doubled down on the habits they'd been building when nobody was watching.
You know, obviously we lost our last 2, but I think, I don't know, that LA one felt good for us because we didn't quit. And then, you know, life happened the other night at the Valley, so we could have looked at it like, oh, woe is me, and, you know, we don't have enough players, and we didn't. So shout out to our group for just staying like confident and staying ready because, you know, it's a professional league and we have to be ready and we can't make too many excuses about it because no one's going to hand us anything. So we might as well look at it for what it is and keep showing up.
What followed was less about one box score and more about a mindset. Possessions got cleaner. Help defense arrived on time. Role players expanded their games without forcing it. You could see a group deciding collectively that the season wouldn't be defined by who wasn't available. That decision, quiet, stubborn, and very real, was the first bucket of the night. And it set up a story nobody saw coming. Yet it felt inevitable by the fourth quarter.
Tonight?
Unbelievably proud. I think this is the most resilient team I've ever been a part of, and I say that wholeheartedly. We've had a lot of mishap happen throughout the course of the season. I think throughout the course of it all, we stay resilient, and you guys get to see us at our best when we stay together and be resilient. So shout out to my girls tonight because I think it took everybody. Everyone played a piece, played a role, and I think that's how we got the dub.
Here's where things looked darkest. The Fever had just dropped 2 straight, including a night in Phoenix that spiraled from, we'll fight to the end, to what else can go wrong. Caitlin Clark was already out with quad and groin issues. Then, in one brutal sequence of days, Sydney Colson tore her ACL and Ari McDonald fractured a bone in her foot, both season-ending. That's not a setback. That's a blueprint bonfire. No point guards on the active roster, no trade window to call for help, and an opponent convinced this was their opening. If you're writing a script about a young team missing the playoffs, this is your Act 2 collapse.
I mean, you guys are unfortunately kind of familiar with injury updates this season, but I imagine yesterday's was probably pretty tough. Just what's the reaction been from you guys, the players, the coaches, to losing Sid and Ari?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, just brokenhearted for them. You know, they're 2 really good people that you hate to see this happen to. You know, they've been an integral part of what we've been doing, and so hate it for them. You know, unfortunately, it's part of the deal, and we've got to roll with it. And you know, we've got players in that locker room who believe in one another. Players in that locker room who are as competitive as all get out. We've got versatility, and it's going to have to be on full display. You know, so I think now it's about playing to honor them, right, and playing for them.
But the Fever didn't fold. Coach Stephanie White told the room they'd run the offense by committee, which is usually code for we'll figure it out on the fly. Yet the message landed differently this time. It sounded like permission for everyone to be a little bigger than their role card. Wings were asked to initiate. Bigs were trusted to trigger actions. Veterans framed the moment as a chance to honor their injured teammates by playing smarter, tougher, and together. Chicago expected a wounded group. They got a connected one.
This means you don't have any healthy point guards and you're not able to sign anyone for tonight's game. Just for tonight specifically, what is your plan kind of running point?
We'll have to do it by committee, certainly. I mean, we've been utilizing AB to initiate offense throughout the course of the season, so we'll use her, continue to use her. Sophie at times this season, particularly early. ran some of the point for us as well. So we'll utilize her and, you know, Kelsey can initiate offense too. So I think the most important thing is that we aren't going to be able to do every play in our arsenal. We'll have to play a big lineup. We'll have to simplify. But we've got players who are capable of getting us into offense, and we'll utilize them in such a way.
Quick ask while you're here. Our channel's still small, and your support is the only reason videos like this reach the people who will love them. If you're finding this breakdown useful, tap subscribe so our next uploads actually land in your feed. Like the video to signal the algorithm that this analysis deserves to be shown to more fans, and drop a comment with Fever Show or your take on the lineup change. Those 3 taps genuinely change how often YouTube recommends us, and they tell me to make more deep dives like this. Now, about that committee.
Williams gonna have to hurry off the dribble, rolls out. Oh, open 3. Oh, what a sight for Lexie Hull. She has needed that one to drop.
Lexie Hull catching fire.
Now Chicago just needs to get it a little bit more settled here in the half court. Nurse loses it. Mitchell 2-on-1. It's a foot race. Mitchell to Cunningham. Cunningham right there for 2 more.
Adversity reveals habits, not slogans. The Fever's habit was resilience. In the days after the injuries, the language shifted from who runs point to who starts the action. There's a difference. Point guard is a title. Initiator is a responsibility. Indiana split that load. Aaliyah Boston opened sets with high post touches. Sophie Cunningham toggled between spacing and triggering dribble handoffs, and Kelsey Mitchell, known for scoring in tight windows, was asked to widen her lens and read 5 defenders instead of 1.
What was kind of the last month like? How do you stay out of your head or listen to the right people? What is that balance like? As you know what you need to do. Take us kind of what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's focusing on doing the right thing, taking the right shots, being in the right place, focusing less on the outcome of things. Missed shots happen. It's going to happen in everyone's career. And to just really focus on getting the next good one. I think that's the whole mindset, and we know we have confidence in every single person and every shot that they take. So, yeah, just keep shooting.
That change could have turned the game into mud. Instead, it simplified priorities. Fewer pet plays, more principles. Drive kick swing, hit the elbow, cut hard, screen your own defender. Play with pace after every rebound. The Sky tried to sit on first options. The Fever stopped hunting first options altogether. Possessions felt like water finding cracks. Patient, steady, and relentless. When the offense bogged down, they leaned on defense to buy the next good look. And you could see the bench come alive every time a stop became a layup on the other end.
And then, Lexie, what was it like to finally break out of that slump, and especially on a night when they needed you to?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. It feels good to see the ball go through the net. But I think, every game, regardless, you're making shots, you're not, it feels really, really good to have your teammates behind you, and I definitely feel that every day, and it's fun. It was fun today to get to celebrate some of those.
And then there was the emotional hinge that locked the whole thing in place. A shooter who'd been living inside her own head finally saw the net cooperate. The game changed the second Lexie Hull remembered what the ball felt like coming off her fingers when doubt wasn't driving. You could track the team's heartbeat to her arc.
Oh, open 3. Oh, what a sight for Lexie Hull. She has needed that one to drop.
Hull benches up. Caitlin Clark with a big grin.
Every shooter knows the numbers before anyone else does. For weeks, Lexie Hull saw 2 for 25 from deep, hanging over every catch. Phoenix was a low point, 1 for 11 from the field, 0 for 8 from 3, and the kind of internal monologue that turns a smooth release into a mechanical project. Wide open looks felt heavier than contested ones. The more she cared, the tighter the shoulders got. That's how slumps work. They convince you to stop trusting the thing you've done your whole life.
Again, no Sydney Colson out for the year with the ACL tear. Lexie Hull, though, the bucket and the foul. He's dealt with so much scoring adversity lately.
Yeah, terrific baseline execution. She comes off the curl. Tell you what, this Fever team is going to be very dangerous, no matter the roster.
Oh, Lexie Hull! Heat checking her napalm era right now.
Chicago offered a clean slate, but not a guarantee. Early possession, Swing, swing, the window is there. She steps into rhythm, shoulders level, wrist soft. The ball leaves with the familiar spin she'd been chasing for weeks and snaps the net. On the sideline, Caitlin Clark leapt like it belonged to her too, because that's what happens when a locker room invests in each other's moments. The make didn't just put points on the board, it rewired a night. Hull didn't flinch at the next catch. She hunted it. Feet organized, eyes calm, no bargain with the rim, just another clean rep.
Lexie, that final three-pointer kind of felt like the perfect end of that night. Just if you could just talk to me about the celebration, how much of a relief that was for you, just kind of to punctuate it like that.
I mean, it's fun. You know, the crowd was behind us today. It's fun to walk out of the gym on a high note and on a make. And yeah, I mean, I saw the time going down, so I was trying to pull out my inner Kelsey Mitchell.
The stat line says 4 for 6 from deep and 17 points with a plus 22 impact. The film says something better. Decisiveness returned. She relocated after passes instead of spectating. She cut when defenders stared. She curled tight, planted, and rose like the break never happened. Teammates felt it too. Hands went up on her release, ready to retreat and defend because they knew the shot was home. When a shooter exits the maze, the floor widens for everybody else. And that widening is exactly where the next pivot happened.
Crazy that I'm like, when the song comes on, just like it's all there. Like, you just gotta believe it, and I think Lexie knows that we believe in her. Our last game in Phoenix, I think we all were just a bit emotional about everything, and I think me and Lexie had an emotional moment because, you know, no one shot well, and I want her to know that we gonna count on her for, you know, what she brings to the table every night, and I'm gonna always stand by my teammates, so you never have to worry about that.
Kelsey Mitchell built a career on economy. No wasted dribbles, little space required. The toughest shot on the floor made to look routine. Asking her to be a full-time table setter was like telling a sprinter to anchor a relay and coach the exchange zones mid-race. At first, you saw the tug of war, open pull-up here, but a cutter flashing there. She hesitated, surveyed, and sometimes chose the old answer because the new one hadn't fully loaded.
Yeah, Kelsey, you obviously had to play out of position tonight, kind of fill in that point. You had a season-high 8 assists. Just how did you try to embrace that for this game and kind of?
Oh man, I haven't played point guard. I was telling the girls I haven't played point guard maybe since college, and so that was different. But I think I don't know, it brings out the vulnerable side of me, the leadership in which I need to keep getting better at and keep growing at. I think being in this PG position kind of helps with that. And I think I believe in my team. So seeing my assists, go up is just because of these girls. We have an unbelievable chemistry when it comes to, seeing and reading each other. So I think they made me look good tonight.
Then the reads started arriving early. Instead of waiting for the hedge, she hit the short roll to Boston before the help rotated. Instead of burrowing to the nail, she manipulated tempo, slow to freeze the weak side tag, quick to drop a bounce pass through traffic. 8 assists doesn't sound like a revolution until you watch who they freed. Corner shooters eating catch-and-shoot reps, rim runners rewarded for sprinting the lane, and a defense stuck in a blender that never powered down. Chicago couldn't decide which version of Mitchell to respect, so both did damage.
Just to add to that, I think Kelsey's not giving herself enough credit. Her and Sophie putting themselves before the team, making sure that they're sacrificing, playing out of position, doing things that they don't normally do, maybe uncomfortable, but I think they both really did a great job of sacrificing in those moments and doing what the team needed to do.
My girl, sexy Lexie.
The beauty was in the elasticity. When the sky shaded to her passing angles, Mitchell punctured the paint with the same venom that puts her among the league's most dangerous bucket getters. Hesitation to step through, glide to glass, step back when the switch sat too low. It wasn't a new player, it was a broader one. She didn't abandon what she does best. She layered responsibility on top of it and made her teammates' jobs easier without dimming her own light. That's leadership without a speech.
Coming off the screen, trying to create some separation. Comes it up to Boston, it trickles in.
Aaliyah Boston was the quiet constant around which all the improvisation made sense. On defense, she walled off drives, erased second chances, and called out coverages early enough to make everyone look a step quicker. On offense, she anchored spacing by being reliable. If you feed the pivot, you'll get it back or you'll get a screen that matters. That reliability is oxygen when your backcourt is in flux. It stabilized everything else long enough for confidence to grow on the perimeter.
More settled here in the half court. Nurse loses it. Mitchell 2-on-1. It's a foot race. Mitchell to Cunningham. Cunningham right there for 2 more.
Sophie Cunningham carried the connective tissue. One trip, she's the initiator. Next trip, she's the spacer. Next trip, she's crashing the glass for the extra life that demoralizes opponents. Role definition is nice in October. In August, survival favors versatility. Indiana had it. Even the bench minutes felt intentional. Defend like the possession will swing the quarter, sprint the lanes, and make the next pass without drama. That's culture. It looks small in isolation. It's massive by the fourth quarter.
Cunningham thought about it this time, puts it on the deck. A deflection, bodies flying to the floor. Mitchell controls, 8 to shoot. Mitchell, hesitation in the paint. The floater off the window.
And here is Kelsey Mitchell getting downhill. Little sidestep into the floater.
Pivoting, pirouetting, tough shot, well defended. Mitchell trying to attack Allen. Step back tray. Mitchell buries it.
Most important, the win didn't feel like a fluke created by hot shooting. It felt like repeatable habits. Defend without fouling, run off makes and misses, trust the extra pass, and let the open player be the hero of the possession. Those travel into playoff series. You could sense it in the way the Sky's body language shifted from, "We've got them where we want them," to, "We can't get 2 stops in a row." That's not about a star being out. That's about a standard being in.
It's now Van Lith on the island. Mitchell trying to create a little separation. Oh, the hezzy and the scoop off the window. Kelsey Mitchell.
Can't guard her off the bounce. The hezzy, the floater, the kiss off the glass.
Parades the baseline back up top. Working again. Westbelt. Step back 3. Rolls it in. And that is a long 2 this time.
By the time the horn sounded, the math was ruthless. 92-70. A 22-point undressing, the 4th straight time Indiana has handled Chicago this season, and a message written loud enough for the rest of the league to read without squinting. The committee offense didn't just survive, it hummed. The defense didn't just compete, it stacked stops until the sky's will thinned. Hull rediscovered her stroke in real time. Mitchell expanded her game without shrinking her edge. Boston kept the floor level and the ceiling reachable. This wasn't win one for the vibes. It was win one because we're built to handle the weird nights.
Kelsey obviously had to play out of position tonight. She had a season high 8 assists. Just how did you see her embrace having to do that, embrace having to do like what the team needed tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that's who she is. She just wants to play. And, you know, I felt like we did a good job of still getting her the ball in positions that she had been getting the ball. We just tried to do it, you know, a little bit more often and try to get it a little bit more in flow. And she let the game come to her. You know, her decision making has been really good. She had those 8 assists and only 1 turnover. Her shot making was really good, as it always is, and we know that she's going to create a lot of gravity because of what she does on the offensive end. And you know, she did a really good job of picking her moments and finding her teammates when she needed to.
And that's the playoff blueprint. Get healthier, sure, but don't wait on perfect. Keep the ball hopping. Keep belief loud. Keep letting role players breathe into bigger moments without apology. When Clark returns, she'll rejoin a group that learned how to generate advantages in multiple ways. That's the difference between a team that can get into a series and a team that can control one. You can't game plan out resilience. You can only match it or get drowned by it.
She is her own worst critic. She's a perfectionist. You know, she wants everything to go right all the time. And, you know, it was nice to see the ball go through the net for her and for her to play with such confidence. I mean, you know, for us, we believe that every time she shoots it, it's going to go in. But for her to finally feel that and see that and play with so much confidence, it's big for us. We need her. She always does the little things that don't show up on the stat sheet, but when she knocks down shots, we're a different team.
If you made it this far, you're exactly who we built this channel for. Fans who want the why behind the what. We're still tiny, and your support is the engine. Hit subscribe so the next breakdown finds you. Tap like so YouTube knows this was worth your time. And drop a comment with your take on the Fever's committee offense. Or just type Fever Show to feed the algo. Your 3 clicks genuinely keep deep dives like this alive. And if you thought tonight was a statement, wait until the rematch tape drops. because this story isn't finished.